you can always tell a good online course because they're not afraid to tell you what's in it, and they're not afraid to tell you everything that they're going to cover. Because if they're not going to tell you that, then what they're going to tell you is probably summarizable in 1 or 2 web pages. And they don't want to tell you what's going to be in the course, because if you knew, then you wouldn't spend the money on the course. The other thing is that I think being transparent about your method, it builds so much trust with your ideal customer. And there's definitely an element in, I think, a person's journey when they're deciding whether they want to choose a coach, where they're seeking that understanding. And that point comes where they're aware of the problem and they're looking for a solution, and they're not looking for a product. What they're looking for is to learn more about what a solution might look like, what shape it is, and to size up in their mind how much work that feels like. So some people are looking for easy answers. Some people are looking for shortcuts. Now, most people will try a shortcut once just to see if it's worth it, because they always look tempting, don't they? We've all been it. We've all tried it. We've all seen a really long path that goes out and back, and then just seen a really short bit, and we've all had to go, slipped up, fallen on our arse and got covered in mud. Everybody's done it and gone, well, I got covered in mud, but it did save me walking all the way over there and back, right? Generally, with shortcuts, it's not too bad, but you might not do it every time. So when someone's looking for a coach, they might not even be in a position where they're ready for a coach. They're just assessing what their next step is. And at that point, having a method that you talk about openly and present as being an option for a solution builds so much trust with your ideal client. So the reason I'm starting here is because this is how we get to the online course. So I'll quickly show what we do with our... So this is essentially the 6 chapters of our coach's marketing journey. So essentially, these are the 6 things that we know that coaches need to work through in order to get their marketing sorted and to sort of build it into their daily practice and become part of their business, rather than that something they have to do. So for us, we've got these 6 chapters, and on our website, we have a whole guide. He says we have a whole guide that is all about it. So we're being very open. This is the coach's marketing journey, and then we go through each of the 6 chapters, what it's all about, what you need to do at each stage, and how each of these things work. So we're not hiding anything here. We're saying this is what we believe you need to do, and this is what we believe makes coaches successful in their business. So in doing that, what we're doing is we're building that trust first of all. So this is the key when you're trying to sell an online course, is that if you haven't been open with what's inside it, then people can't trust. And there's that element of like, it just becomes that black box, that magic beans element of just like, well, I've no idea what this is. I don't even know if this is right for me. So by setting it up early and saying, this is the process, here it is. Read it, digest it, see what you think of it. If you're open with that, then you immediately separate yourself from those other coaches who are just selling, a mysterious process. If you're open about what you're doing. Now, it may be that you don't have 6 chapters. It might be you just have 3 things that you work on. So it might be, well, we talk about this, we think about that, and we do this, maybe. And that is going to make you feel potentially one of these things. It's going to bring you these insights. It's going to reframe your thinking, or it's going to turn you in the right direction so that you can then do something else. Whatever the outcome, insight or feeling is that your process, your method gets people to, being open about that isn't giving them anything. Because all you're doing is you're saying, here's all of the knowledge, here's the theory, and it's not that they can necessarily go away and do that themselves, because they still need you. But what you're doing is you're showing them that plan. So when we created this journey, what we realised is, well, actually what we need now is a way of allowing people to dive deeper. So they can read about that on the website and they can be like, yeah, cool, I get it. I understand these 6 steps. I could go away and I could work on my mindset. I could go away and I could work on my story. You know, that the page there tells you the things that you should work on. But some people are going to say, yeah, but what do I need? Like, how do I do that bit? How do I do this bit? Is there like an exercise I can do that will help me understand that a bit more? Now, by creating an online course, the answer to all of those questions is yes. So what we then did is we then created a series of videos and exercises that people can work through those 6 chapters. So what we then did is we essentially just answered the questions that people may have by looking at that process. So what I can do is, as Francis said, let me show you how that actually ended up, because it essentially follows exactly the same process. So when you buy the course, when you get in, this is what you see. So you see mindset, and then these are all of the videos and the exercises that you work through. Then you've got client, and then here's some more exercises, here's some more video lessons. So for example, if you click on one of these lessons and you get the video, but then you also get the written lesson underneath. So what we did is we broke down our whole journey into what actually turned out to be 50 steps. So that is a fair amount of steps in the long run, but each of those videos is only a few minutes long. They're not like that's 50 hours of stuff to work through, and it's that case of how to make it manageable, but we'll come to that in a bit. But I hope we can see there that is the process of turning the process you go through into a series of steps that people can take. So you're not hiding anything up front, and all you're doing is guiding them through it. So why would you choose an online course over, say, one-to-one or group work? And when me and Francis first spoke about this, we did consider doing this as group sessions instead. But the problem is that takes quite a lot of time for us. You know, we have to coordinate our calendars, it would be putting sessions in, it'd be devising live sessions to run, and we just looked at the amount of time that was going to take, and the fact that actually we would just be repeating those over and over again, and we just thought, you know what, this is going to be easier and more cost effective for us to just do this once, which then means people can watch it and go back to it and revisit it over and over again. And because of that, we can deliver it at a price point that it's a lot more accessible to coaches who are just starting out, as opposed to coaches who might be further down the journey who are looking for more sort of one-to-one support or group work support. And we've got a different product for that further down the line. But that's where we felt that the video course positioned it just positioned it really nicely. And it isn't a case of we thought, oh yeah, well then we can sell thousands of these, and we'll be able to retire to a cottage in Hawaii by the end of the year if we make a video course.